Hello and welcome aboard WhalePod to another Genshin Impact video. We are still making our way through Chapter 3 Act 1 today. In the last video, we took quite the trip on some magical mushrooms in a cave with some random lady, and learned of a certain sussy boy from the Sumeru Academia has been sniffing around Tighnari. As I predicted in the last video, I suspect this sussy boy is going to actually be an undercover Abyss Lector. No, I have not seen anything further ahead. I do not know anything of what's coming. So if I'm right, this will be completely out of the blue. And if I'm wrong, well, I'm wrong. People make wrong guesses sometimes. But he was too insistent on Tighnari coming back with us, and was too intently staring at us at the end of that last episode for me to not assume that perhaps we were recognized as the prince's sister. Now, we shall go talk to our favorite Kale as we head out of the village here, or Ville. I don't like Gentarva Ville. It sounds so much, well, weirder than just saying Gentarva Village, because this is really a village. But first, does Tighnari have anything to say?
Kale is waiting at the northmost crossing of Gandharvaville. You should be able to find her there.
About the Academia's invitation.
It seems there's a major project underway at the Academia, and my master has also joined the effort. But I can't afford to leave Gandharvaville now. Things are not going well here in the rainforest, and Kale needs someone to watch over her. Besides, I was never one for all the pomp and circumstance of life at the Academia. Given that my master hasn't come to give me an earful personally, tells me that my presence is not as sorely needed as they make it out to be. In fact, the letter he sent to me was uncharacteristically polite. Kale is waiting at the northmost crossing of Gandharvaville. You should be able to find her there.
About Kale.
Don't you worry about Kale. I'll look after her. I'll find a way to understand the relationship between the withering and her disease.
Well, isn't it obvious?
The northmost crossing of Gandharvaville. You should be able to find her there.
It should be obvious that the connection between the withering and Kale's disease is that the withering and Kale's disease are both two different branches springing up from the same roots, those being Irminsul's illness. So, see ya, Tighnari.
Farewell, traveler.
We are still running the same Hyper Bloom team we have been running before. I like running all three of the non-traveler characters, and Dendro Traveler is certainly a lot more pleasant to play than the other elements of Traveler. But I digress a little bit. We have a Kale to see. One more digression before we talk to Kale is, uncharacteristically polite. Tighnari's teacher could also be a sussy, undercover, ex-Conrian, current Abyssy boy. Maybe, wait, I know there's not going to be a new element of Lector or Herald introduced because there's no new archive log for them, but maybe we will have either a Pyro and Electro Lector to deal with at the same time, or a Lector and a Herald.
I've been waiting for you two. Never mind. I guess I should just wish you two a safe and successful journey.
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumeru City.
Please take care of yourself, Kale.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend, not some girl that needs your sympathy.
But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another. There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends and sharing your past with us. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Before you leave, I have something for you.
Oh? What is it?
It's my recipe for pita pockets. I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? My handwriting is a little, messy, so please don't laugh.
Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like.
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharvaville.
Of course we will.
Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharvaville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here.
Yeah, we got a new recipe. I've been looking for something new to cook. Well, also it would appear that this will be Kale's specialty when cooking. But from here, it's not too far to Sumeru City. Let's check on the map exactly where we need to be going. Yeah, not far at all. We're gonna leg it. And discuss a few things as we go, both about Sumeru and about others. For starters, some of you may have noticed, if you are also keeping up with my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Let's Play, that the voice I am doing for Kale, no, not Kale, the Traveler, specifically Mithra, a very Xenoblade-inspired name for my Traveler, is similar to the voice I am doing for Senna in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That is intentional. That there is not intentional, but a dendro puzzle. We need a dendrogranum. That is a very long, apparently very tedious side quest. We're gonna ignore you for now, lady. Or not. Huh, what's over there? Stay away, you nasty mushrooms! Hey, Mithra, that person over there seems to be in trouble. We've got to help. No, we don't. We're going to ignore the sussy shrooms and leave. We will, however, go big game hunting.
Right here.
2 shots, 2 kills. Some peaches. Oh, I've also found my new favorite fish name in a video game ever. Playing through here. Let's see. Okay, it's not in this pool area. I know I marked it. I better have marked it. There's a fishing spot somewhere. Well, there are multiple fishing spots I've found. One here in Vimara Village. One up here in this unexplored area. One here on top of one of these big mushrooms in a puddle of rainwater. And I know there's one more I've found. Yeah, right down here by Port Ormos. I'm going to check up here in Yajda Pool again to see if there's anything I missed marking as far as fishing goes. I could have sworn there was a fishing spot. Might have forgotten to mark it, though. Fortunately, we can play hooky and get around the map even quicker. Is that... Yes. There's a fishing spot here, but these Sumeru fishing spots have a fish called Peach of the Deep Waves. And it's a round pink fish. I love it. It's a swim... They called it a peach because it's a round pink fish. It's my new favorite fish name in any game because of that. Previously, it was Neptuna from Legend of Zelda. Specifically, I think Neptunas were in The Wind Waker. But now it's Peach of the Deep Waves.
Take it easy.
There's a big tree for the region. I wouldn't say it's the big tree, like the big tree in Windrise, the Dragon Queller in Leah, or the Sacred Sakura in Inazuma, or the Dead One in Dragonspine. But there is a big tree.
Did you see that? When those people entered the city, something on their heads lit up.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But how did you know that?
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge. After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal. As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port Ormos.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tainari was telling us about. It sounds pretty amazing.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now all travelers are issued one upon arrival. Here are your Akasha terminals. Please handle them with care.
It kinda looks like a leash.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Oh, since this little doodad lets you access knowledge, maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try. Ahem. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Whoa. Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it. Oh, that'll come in real handy.
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha. And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Suristana. Seems pretty similar to what Kale was telling us. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. The Akasha didn't respond to Paimon's question.
Huh? The same happened to me.
Oh, come on! Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't think of it. Paimon's brain is exhausted.
I'll try asking the Akasha something else.
Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it?
I'm gonna think Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, see what that gets us. Many bright dots of lights appear in my mind. I probably need to calm my mind and focus more to understand what they mean. Feelings of affection, intimacy, nostalgia, sadness, and anxiety also come to mind. These seem to be what the people of Sumeru think about their departed Archon.
Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people of Sumeru really miss their Archon.
Why doesn't the Akasha answer my question? A vague thought suddenly comes to mind. The Akasha doesn't unconditionally respond to every query. Also, even if the same query is requested by multiple people, the Akasha still imparts knowledge based on each person's identity, age, experiences, and other demographics.
Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified to receive an answer to this sort of question or something.
Let's think Lesser Lord Kusanali. Some knowledge began to trickle into my mind for a moment, but there wasn't really anything that I didn't already know.
You too? Well, glad it's not just Paimon. Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is to try meeting with the researcher that Tighnari recommended. He's from Sumeru and even has a position in the Academia. Maybe he'll be able to access more info from the Akasha. Let's see. Tighnari wrote an address on the letter's envelope.
Say something like that about me.
It's not far from the city's gate.
Looks like it's right up here, in fact.
Hello, are you Rohawi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great! You see, Tighnari sent us here and...
What? Tighnari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
I think you've misunderstood us.
Here, this is a letter from Tighnari.
Oh, let me see. Oh, ooh, what a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So you two just have some questions for me? Seems even Tighnari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha. Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that? Paimon was sure you'd be able to access more info than we did.
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumeru, she's never left the Sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Huh. Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
But then what can we do?
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas. And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing. In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom. Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tighnari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the Academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me.
So, by area of expertise...
Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the Academia.
Paimon's expectations were pretty low, but this is so low it's like digging holes in the dirt. So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody here.
No, there's still one person we know.
Huh? Like who?
Add extra applesauce. Add extra applesauce.
Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own intel network. Let's hurry and find her.
So now that we're out of the... right into more story, I'm gonna say right now, at first I thought maybe the Fatui were trying to hack the Akasha from how the trailer played out. Now I think it's gonna be our sussy abyss boy somewhere. Hack the Akasha, basically fry the brains of an entire nation and everyone who visits it. Now that we took the shortcut by jumping down that ledge, we are at Sumeru, Catherine.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Hello, Traveler and Paimon.
Catherine, we need your help with something.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you. With what do you require assistance?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. Please wait. I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha. I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Aww, another dead end. Well, if Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites. They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenary brigades.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, he and his words carry great weight within mercenary circles. If you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters, the Citadel of Rexar.
Thanks a bunch, Catherine.
You're welcome. I wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
Alright, off to the Citadel of Rexar we go!
I wonder if we can finally set our commissions to Sumeru now. I've still been doing Liyue, trying to get Cliffhanger to show up one more time. Hey, big fish. Hello, what can I do for you? And you are? I'm the logistics officer for the Citadel of Resgar, responsible for the... Except for some mandatory academia assignments, I delegate tasks to Mr. Effendi. If someone would help out the Corps or residents nearby, I could pay for it with that portion of the fund.
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you two.
It's nice to meet you, Asfand. We'd like to ask you about something.
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent you this way. Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Wait, seriously? That's it?
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we can access even less than you. We originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own two hands to carve out a living. We don't beg gods for their aid. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru aren't interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Oh? Why's that?
Just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late Greater Lord Rugadavada. In their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened to inherit her legacy. Because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Rugadavada and hold her in greater esteem. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance, and the Academia never announces anything about her. As far as the people of Sumeru are concerned, she's just a god that exists. And that's all.
Really? Aw. After hearing all of that, Paimon sort of feels bad for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ha! But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it. Besides, I'm sure the God of Wisdom doesn't worry about her reputation among people like us.
All right. Well, thanks for the info, Osfond.
No problem. Always happy to help out the Adventurers Guild.
Seems Osfond was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it. We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumeru, but the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad, one of Lesser Lord Kusanali's faithful followers.
Whoa, really? Then do you know how we can meet with her?
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend about the Dendro Archon.
Can you tell us that legend?
Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted that a great calamity was about to befall him. Panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament. The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the Dendro Archon. In despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying on his own strength, he managed to overcome the adversity. At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon. She said, "O Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you. Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder, we'll be wherever you go."
What an amazing story!
Yeah, thanks for the story! Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
In a way, it seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Of course. So did you two know that, I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened?
I think it has something to do with those people over there.
It looks like they're searching for someone. Dunyarzad Zod was acting super nervous just now. You think they're looking for her? Ugh, this stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali! We can't let them get in the way now! Let's see if we can get rid of them. Then we can catch up with Dunyarzad.
Hey, have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her!
That should keep him busy for a while. Let's hurry and find Dunyarzad.
All right, we've thrown him off the scent. Not inside the useless jeweler shop that will likely be useless until whatever primary use for Dendro's sigils is complete.
There you are, Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone by now.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there looking for me. Uh-oh, looks like there are some coming this way.
Huh? More of them? Then what are we standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. It's difficult for me to run.
How about we find some place to hide?
Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to. They probably wouldn't expect me to hide in a place like that.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
This sounds like... That's not a stealth mission. Stealth missions, you're locked to the Traveler. I'm still Yelan here.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait, stand down, Dehya.
My lady, who are these two?
They're travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me, so they helped me hide.
I see. In that case, you two should scram. There's nothing here for you.
Wait a sec. Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
And if I refuse to go with you?
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like a sack of potatoes.
Hey! Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. Why are you still pushing her?
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation. Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
How much?
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time and I'll get that much.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles. That's why I'm here looking for you.
Sure, it's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me it's the right thing to do. And knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits, and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people being stubborn right now are my parents. And they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. They still won't accept reality. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dehya, you've been living with us a long time already. This should be old news to you. Dehya, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to. Because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents. This is my life and my last chance. So I want to do something meaningful.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure. At least, it is to me.
Fine, I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination, not because I agree with you.
Thank you, Dehya. Sorry for being so rude just now. My nerves were acting up. And I even brought up your payment in such an offensive way.
Don't worry about it, my lady. I did say that I like Mora. Besides, that's our next topic of conversation. Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. It wouldn't be easy to hide things from your old man. Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me. We can settle the bill when we return to the estate.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an understanding.
Dunyazad, are you alright?
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop trying to look tough. We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some grub.
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like for you to join us.
Sure! After you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
She's here! I was not expecting her in this quest or in this patch at all. She's not here to pull for, but she's here in the story. We get to hear her voice lines. And the verdict is still out on whether I like her VA or not. I'll have to wait and see until I see what her delivery in battle is like. After all, she is a mercenary. I was expecting a deeper, or at least louder, gruffer voice.
Well, if it isn't Dehya, haven't seen you in nearly half a year. Word on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Don't you find that kind of work boring?
Nah, you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it, huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't get to serve personages like you very often. We'll be sure to prepare our very best.
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
No need to break the bank. We'll eat whatever you order.
Yeah, we're already super grateful for everything you told us about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
How about our coconut charcoal cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
They look kind of burnt and dry. Paimon will pass.
Picky Paimon, now that's a first. But you've cooked slimes before.
What do you have against my slime dishes?
Everything, Paimon. I have everything against your slime dishes.
We met a lot of people when we first arrived, and almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. So, what made you want to follow her?
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her before.
Huh? Really?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year. I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious state for several days. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. Even if I cried, there was no sound. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but actually, I know everything about you.
Really?
Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder, that you hate taking medicine every morning, and that you love counting the petals on your mom's skirt.
Wow, you really do know everything.
Dunyarzad, is there anything you want?
What? Not really. I can't go anywhere or do anything.
Huh? But aren't you a child? All children have wishes. Tell me what you want, and maybe I can make it happen.
But can you make my illness go away?
Oh. I'm sorry. But I'm not powerful enough to do that right now.
Then, can you be my friend? After that, the voice said, "Okay, I'll be your friend." Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things. Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumeru city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel, deserts, and all of Tevat. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming. But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Tevat.
So you believe the voice you heard was Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world, nor would I have learned how to read and enjoy so many books. That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Sabzeruz festival for her.
What's the Sabzeruz festival?
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday, which was the day that she was found by the sages. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the Lesser Lord's birthday. I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumeru. In those days, the festival was a huge deal. But because of the Academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest in the festival. The Academia actively participates in Sumeru's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Sabzeruz festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it doesn't exist. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death, so they're reluctant to celebrate it.
Aww, But that's awful.
It is. It's absolutely terrible. Sure, the Greater Lord founded Sumeru, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get too carried away now.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sabzeruz festival to this day, but I hadn't met any of them before, so I was never able to contribute. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord Kusanali. I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year. That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hold on, my lady, does this friend happen to be Nilu, the one who sends flowers to the estate?
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face. It seemed like she was hiding something in her arms. Did you give her something?
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much Mora prepared, so I had Nilu sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilu to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today, and see how things are coming along. Dehya, would you accompany me?
Sure, that's quite the trip though. I'll carry you.
No, that would be too much, even for you.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us. And if anything happens to you, then I'd really never hear the end of it from your father.
Can we also come along?
But of course. Nilu will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
And that explains why the Sabzeruz festival is not the event for this patch. Because it's an unofficial festival right now, because the wine and cheese elites of Sumeru do not recognize it, because they are too busy sticking their heads into the sand going, na 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 na, I can't hear you, our god's not dead, na 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 na. Which, this is where we are going to end the video, but not before one final theory. That final theory is that, yes, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is not dead, but in hiding. They are weak, unable to use the full extent of their power as an Archon, and catching wind of something like the Tsaritsa's plan to yoink all the Gnosis, is currently hiding out in a neighboring nation. What nation's neighbor Sumeru, you might ask? Well, it is confirmed on the map that Sumeru neighbors Leah. It is believed that up here is Fontaine. To the east here is the desert. But even further east, and even a little south from Sumeru, is Natlan. With those three countries, I personally think it is the one we have visited before. I think Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is hiding out in Leah Harbor. A lot of people theorize that the true identity of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is just Dr. Baiju in drag, but no, I don't think so. I think... and I'm going to show my one piece of evidence before this. Well, for this before going any further. That is the prefix of the Dendro Ascension Gemstones as Nagadus. Naga referring to humanoid snake creatures from the mythology of Hinduism and Southeast Asia. And who in Leah Harbor has a connection of snakes? Well, it is Dr. Baiju, but I still don't think Baiju is Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. I think Baiju is the decoy, and Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is Changsheng, the white snake coiled around his neck. Changsheng also does not... like to speak unless necessary. This may be an effort to hide from the fact that she is a talking snake of potentially godlike proportions. So, there's my theory. That little white snake that Paimon mistook for medicinal ingredients in the Leah Archon quest may end up being the true Dendro Archon, hiding out for the sake of her life, because she knows the Fatui and the Abyss are after her. And while she wouldn't like to get found by the Fatui, she definitely doesn't want to get found out by the Abyss. And with that, thank you all for watching this Genshin Impact Archon Quest video. I have been your Captain Whale. If you liked this video, please leave a like and consider subbing to the channel. It costs you nothing and helps me out immensely. If you do sub to the channel, make sure to ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all my latest uploads. As always, comments are welcome down below. I'm still not sure if I'm going to post episodely questions of the day for Genshin Impact or not, but if I do post one, please feel free to answer it. But with all that said, I hope you all are having a fantastic day, WhalePod. But until next time, goodbye.